It's kinda simple really, just be a nice person. Hi guys, you alright? So, there are so many videos online, like what bartenders hate, what it's really like to work in a restaurant, things baristas hate, but I haven't really seen anything giving solutions to make you not look like so much of a dick. So, I am going to go on the journey from when you first walk through the door in a bar or restaurant to the moment you leave, and give you a few little tips on how to make the life of your server a little bit easier, especially in this anxiety-filled industry, and in return, you will get a much better service. I promise I do all of these things all the time, and I am pretty happy with the majority of the service that I get wherever I go. So, in certain restaurants, you might be asked a question like, have you ever been here before? We all know, Nando's is famous for it. Plenty of other places do it as well. And that question isn't put there in place just as like a time filler. It's not there to waste your time. What that question is really saying is, there's something a little bit different about this restaurant compared to other places, and we'd like to take a little moment of your time and explain those differences so that you don't get confused and you can have as seamless a time as possible. Now, I get the feeling sometimes people do just say, yes, we've been here before, because they think we'll get to our table faster, we can order quicker, we'll get our food faster, and then we can get out quicker. Oh, how wrong you are. The information that anyone is trying to tell you is simply there to stop you getting confused, because they're telling you about things that you wouldn't normally see in other restaurants. And if you lie and just say, yes, you've been here before, what's going to happen is you're not going to understand what's going on, you're going to get confused, that confusion's going to turn into anger, and you're going to make a complaint and blame it on the service from the restaurant. When really, if you'd have been honest in the first place, told them that you hadn't been there, allowed them to spend maybe 30 seconds explaining something to you, you would have had a much more pleasant experience, and you're really saving yourself time in the long run. So if that question ever arises, just be honest, and if it doesn't, you're probably in a restaurant that's pretty standard, similar to some other restaurants that you've been to, and what you'll be greeted with when you walk in the door is still a friendly welcome, but they will either show you to a table or allow you to just pick out your own table. Now, if someone is showing you to a table, I do understand the table the host may have picked out for you might not be ideal to you. You might want to sit closer to the window, you might want to sit further away from the window, further away from the door, maybe further away from a toilet or closer to a toilet just in case you need it. Whatever. I understand that you may have a preference on where you want to sit. If that's the case, please kindly let them know and maybe say, oh, do you mind if we sit closer to the window? Or is it possible if we sit somewhere a little bit further away from the window? Just be nice about it. But also, please don't just pick your own table. So what a lot of restaurants do is they will split the restaurant up into different sections and have a different waiter or waitress working on each section. Now, if you just try and go and pick your own table, you might be trying to put yourself in a different section than the host was trying to sit you in, which means a higher workload for the person who will be serving you, and maybe a lesser workload for somebody else who's working there as well. So what they're trying to do when they give you a specific place to sit is they're trying to spread the workload out. Now, yes, everyone should be working together as a team and helping each other out, but when you've got a specific section of a restaurant that you're responsible for, that difference in workload can really mean a lot. And the host is literally there trying to keep things fair for everyone, so no one is working too hard or too little on a shift. So yeah, my advice for that is, by all means, make a request. If you want to sit somewhere else, just do it kindly and don't demand a specific table to sit on. It's kinda simple really, just be a nice person. Another thing about choosing tables in a restaurant, if you're greeted at the door and they say, sit anywhere you like, yes, you have free choice of any available table, but please do not pick the one dirty table that customers have literally just stood up from and left, and they probably passed you while you were on your way in, they were on their way out. There is no chance that any staff member has had time to clean that table and reset it for you to sit on. So please, just pick the table that is clearly ready for you. Right, so now, you know the score with the restaurant, you've got yourself at a table, perfect. Now it's time to order some stuff. So if you're in a restaurant, your waiter or waitress might come over and say, would you like any drinks? Or let's say you're in a bar and you're ready to order. Please, if you were in a loud bar and you want a bottle of beer, please don't do this. I don't need to see the action of how you are going to drink the bottle of beer. Because when there's loud music playing, I don't need your hand in front of your mouth stopping me from being able to hear the words that you are saying on which bottle of beer it is you would like. Also, if it's that loud, a lot of people do lip read. So you're putting your hand in front of your lips. There's no chance I can read your lips while you're doing this. Even then, I'm a little bit conscious that like I might have been blocking sound. I hope I wasn't. And if you want a cocktail, golden rule, please never ask us for more alcohol in the cocktail. First point, there's probably already enough alcohol in that cocktail for you to consume anyway. Second point, a lot of bars and restaurants are pretty strict on their stock. And it's not because they're being stingy, it's literally because they don't want things going missing. They need to make sure things aren't being stolen. So no, we cannot just put more alcohol in your drink because you want it more boozy than it normally should be. If you want a really strong cocktail, my personal recommendation would be a Negroni, but you won't like that because you like strawberry daiquiris and porn star martinis. Now yes, when it comes to cocktails, by all means make a request if you like it a little bit sweeter, a little bit more citric. Obviously it depends what the cocktail is. If you have a preference, by all means make a request, but do be aware that a lot of places will be pretty strict on what they can and can't change about their recipes. And you're really putting a bartender in a difficult position by saying, oh, can you do this differently? But of course, we're always aiming to try and get you the perfect drink that you want. So make the request. If they seem hesitant about it or like it's not something within their capabilities, please don't argue and don't get rude about things. This is kind of the main tip of this video. Just be a nice person and it really will get you a lot further, especially considering we serve so many rude people in a day. It's so refreshing to see someone nice and to have a nice conversation with someone. Another point on ordering drinks. If you're in a bar that serves the same kind of beer or cider in pints and bottles, please do not wait for me to pour the full pint before you tell me, oh sorry, I meant a bottle. Why is that helpful? Now I've got a full pint that I've just got to throw down the drain. Great. Another thing to avoid doing, don't say something ridiculously vague, like, oh, can I have a glass of wine, please? Yes. Would you like red, white, rosé? I'm not a mind reader. Also, on not being specific enough, please don't say, oh, can I have a double and coke, please? Yeah, there's about 50 spirits behind me. Which one of those do you want? I think the worst thing I've ever heard on this was, hi, can I have 2 please? Like, seriously, I know I've said it, but I'm not a mind reader. Okay, so that's drinks ordering, I think, out of the way. So then, if you're in a bar, you'll get your drinks, and you'll pay for them. Great, you'll go and enjoy your drinks. But when you're paying, please do not hand me a scrumpled up note, because then I have to stand there and unravel it when you could have literally just kept it nice and neat in your wallet or your purse and handed it to me nicely, and then I can just put it away and all is fine. And if you're in a restaurant, you'll order your drinks, they get brought over to you. Are you ready to order your food? Here is another point to just be honest. If you're ready and you've decided on what you want, say yes, and then you can order. If you are not ready, politely say, no, can we have another couple minutes, please? It's literally as simple as that. I've literally had a table make me stand there while I was very busy, but I just had to stand and wait for them to make their decisions because they thought it would take longer if I went away and came back. Well, that's great, but you are not the only people in the world, and that's another thing to remember when you're in a bar or a restaurant. You are not the only person in this world, and you're not the only person in that bar, and I need to get everyone served as fast as possible, not just you. So if you're not ready, just say no. But again, say it politely. Another note on you not being the only person in this world. If you're in a club or a bar that has bars on multiple different levels, please do not assume that because you go to the quieter bar that you will get faster service. That may be true if you're literally the only person there, but the problem is, on a quieter bar there is going to be less members of staff, because why would you have 3 members of staff on this bar, 3 members of staff on this bar, when this bar has 50 people waiting at it, and this bar has 5. It doesn't make sense from a business point of view. So if you go to a quieter bar, there will be less people working on it. So please just be mindful that there are less members of staff working there. So it probably will take you about the same amount of time to get your drink, whichever bar you go to. Right, so by this point, you've ordered your drinks, you've ordered your food, and your food has hopefully arrived. Fantastic. But let's just say there's a problem with it. Say your food's too cold, you found a hair in it, whatever the problem is, we understand. We're all human. humans, we make mistakes. Please bear with us on that one. If you can tell me that you've never made a mistake in your life, well, you're lying. But all you need to do, I'm not telling you to never speak up if there's an issue with your food, but all you need to do is just be nice about it. I understand it's frustrating. Whoever you're with, they may have perfect food and they're happy sitting eating it, and you might be very hungry. Please just try and keep yourself calm. Don't start screaming at people. It's not going to get you anywhere. Just calmly get someone's attention, explain the problem, and they will be able to sort it out for you as best they can. Seriously, no one ever woke up one day and said, I'm going to get a job in hospitality because I want to give people bad service. No, a lot of people think, oh, I'm really good with people and I love people, so I want to work serving people all the time. But then by the end of a few shifts, they're thinking, oh god, I really hate people because people are awful. So all you need to do is just be nice about it. Really as simple as that. They're not going to take your complaint any less seriously just because you've had a kind voice on you. In fact, you're a lot more likely to not fluster them, and they'll be able to calmly deal with the situation and get you the result that you want a lot better. So next, I know people probably have different opinions on this, and again, it depends where you are. But for me personally, if I'm in a bar or a restaurant working, I would much prefer that you just not try and stack anything, because you're probably not helping me. Like, I have my own way that I will try and stack things up. Don't try and help me out. I know the way I like to do things, and the way you're thinking of it might not be helping me. There might be exceptions to this that I'm not really thinking of right now, but I can't really think of a time that it really seems like it's actually helping me. Just let me get on with it. It's my job to do it for you. You don't need to help me out with this bit. So just, if you're stacking plates up or stacking glasses up, it really might just kind of throw me off and not help. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry if anyone's offended by that. So you finished your meal. You might have had dessert if you want dessert. Great. And then it comes time to pay. One thing I will say, just tip whoever's serving you. They're working really hard. It's a difficult industry. As I've said, you're not the only person in the world, but everyone likes to think that they are. And yes, people should be made to feel special. I'm not saying that at all. But that's up to whoever is serving you to make you feel special. You don't need to demand it for yourself. And to be honest, I think it's a lot nicer if someone goes out of their way to make me feel special, as opposed to me asking for it. Do you know what I mean? So yes, you've come to the end of your experience. You're paying for it. Please leave a tip. Most people in the UK do know to tip. Well, especially in restaurants. Please tip your bartenders. Bartenders are so under-tipped. And it's always frustrating whenever I work in a restaurant and I go into bars and I see bartenders not getting tipped. They're working hard. It's such a fast-paced environment. So yeah, just give them a little bit of appreciation. And then as you're on your way out the door, just give them a goodbye. People like to know that you've had a good time. So that's just a few of my thoughts on what you can personally do to get the best experience whenever you go out to a bar or to a restaurant. I'm assuming this works in coffee shops, probably even retail. I mean, the general advice is just to be a nice person. And yes, I know you think you're being a nice person by helping them out with stacking drinks or plates, but sometimes that's just a little bit confusing. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a massive thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know any of your thoughts on this, and subscribe so you don't miss out on a future video, because I post new videos every Monday and Wednesday. And I'll see you soon.